Yeah. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanan Jana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shwapadantikam. Vande Ham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stuti Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum bhayate girim yat kripa tamahang bande Sri Gurun Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Katanchana Smriti Asmin Duskaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismrite Viparitam Shat Sri Chaitanya Namamitam Hare Krishna. So anybody would like to share what we discussed in our previous class, maybe 1 or 2 points, something just to refresh our mind. Then we will continue our today's discussion. Hare Krishna. Anybody? 1 or 2 points.
Hare Krishna. In the previous class,
Nagarjun Prabhu, you would like to share something?
yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, your voice is very low.
Hello, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay, anyway, maybe there is some technical problem. Okay, doesn't matter. So, yeah, in the previous class, okay, maybe I have some problem with my microphone, Prabhu, sorry. Okay, it's okay, no problem. Yeah, also here, Vishnu Chitta Prabhu, he has problem with his throat, unable to speak. So, we're discussing the beginning of the 3rd chapter entitled Karma Yoga. So we ended up our discussion with all of you sharing your realization on the some verses that I have asked you to share. So that was very nice. Well, let's see. Hopefully today also we have this kind of discussion where everybody can participate. So we're discussing about uh, the yogic performance. Ultimately, yagya is meant only for Vishnu. Ultimately, so we ended up in that discussion in the previous class. So we shall continue today. I am expecting that we're gonna cover till text number 35, but I think that's a lot. That's too much, and we will see how much we can cover our today's class. Maybe not till text number 35, and that's also depend on Krishna's arrangement. So there are two parts of our today's discussion. This is the first one from text number 10 to 16. Previously, Krishna established that one should not artificially renounce activities, but should perform prescribed duties in a detached way. Now he explains the course of action for those who are not yet at the stage of work in detachment, but wish to attain it by satisfying their material desires in a religious way. Those who are attached will be purified. Krishna will show how production of grains is dependent on sacrifice and how the origin of such sacrifice is Vishnu. So this is the famous verse, Anad Bhavanti Bhutani. And the second part of our discussion is that from 17 to 35, Karma Yoga, performing prescribed work in detachment to set example. So this is actually referring to the Niskama Karma. So detached work means detaching from the result of the work, not detaching from the activities. So that is called Niskama Karma. In verses 17 through 21, Krishna describes the position of a self-realized person in relation to work. Although the self-realized person need not perform the prescribed duties, he continues working to set the example for common man to follow. So here, Lord Krishna giving the argument to Arjuna, and we know that Arjuna is a Mahabhagavata. He is a great devotee of the Lord. There, in this section, Krishna will explain to Arjuna that for those who are situated, self-established in self-realization, established in self-realization, actually there is no work that he is obliged to do. So he's completely free because he's completely detached. But yet, to set up the example, especially when you are in a position of a leader. So even if you are Mahabhagavata, completely free, uh, unattached with any material thing, because you are a leader in the society, so you must perform your material obligation. We can say like that, just to set up the example for the common man. So that is the verse of Yad Yad Acharati Sreshtas. Krishna uses himself as an example to show that even God works according to scripture to set the standard for others to follow. Krishna also describes how a knowledgeable person should relate to ignorant men who are attached to poor results. A devotee should encourage people by his words and example to engage the result of their work in devotional service. Arjuna is finally advised to fight with devotion for Krishna and become free from the bondage of fruitive action. The last one. Krishna concludes his explanation of Karma Yoga by warning Arjuna not to give up his prescribed duties, though there may be some imperfection. He explains that everyone is forced to act according to their nature. So we will see how many verses we can cover today. We start with text number 10. Translation. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth the generation of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation." In the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned the material creation by the Lord of creatures, which is Lord Vishnu, is a chance offered to the conditioned souls to come back home, back to Godhead. So again, we come back to our very basic discussion that what is the purpose of this material creation, the creation of the material universe, material world. So just like a jail actually, or maybe jail is to, yeah, this material world is just like jail, or normally at home, a parent to rectify his sons or daughter, not his sons or daughter. Normally, the parents would give some kind of punishment to rectify it. Sometimes we see also, or even we experience when we study in a school, when we commit some mistake. So the teacher will punish us whether to sit in the front of the classroom and standing with one leg and holding our ear. Sometimes we find such kind of situation. So similarly, this material world is created for us actually. First of all, because Krishna loves us, so Krishna gives us the chance to be whatever we want in the material world, because we want to lord it over the material world. We want to enjoy separately from Krishna. Therefore, he created this material world. And then finally, we will find ourselves by, ending up with so many difficult situations. And we will come to know that actually this is not our real place. So we have to go back home, back to Godhead. So that's how actually Krishna teaches us. Krishna creates this material world because we desire it. And then we come here and then we are always kicked by Maya from left, right, up, down, front, back. So like this. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned that whoever, any what Srila Prabhupada mentioned, any intelligent person, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, any intelligent person will come to understand that actually this material world is full of miseries and this material world is not our original place. Just like the fish original place is in the water. But as soon as the fish is taken out from the water, be in the land, no matter how much comfort we try to give to the fish, the fish will not be happy. We give a lot of money to the fish, we give soft bed or nice food, but as long as the fish on the land, he's not going to be happy. So the only place where the fish can be happy is that back to the water. So that's our situation. We just need to go back home, back to Godhead. So this place is just like a jail where we can be rectified. The Lord created this material world to enable the conditioned souls to learn how to perform yajna, sacrifices, for the satisfaction of Vishnu, so that while in the material world they can live very comfortably without anxiety, and after finishing the present material body, they can enter into the kingdom of God. So this is another blessing of the Lord, why he created this material world. So just like we find in the fourth canto, in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj, he was blessed. So of course, after he performing uh, austerities, so Lord Vishnu appeared personally in the front of Dhruva Maharaj, and he blessed Dhruva Maharaj by saying that now you can enjoy, you will become the ruler for 36,000 years, 36,000 celestial years, and you can enjoy as much as you want. Krishna mentioned. First, you can enjoy as much as you want. Second, you will never forget me. And the third one, after you are leaving this body, you will be immediately promoted to the spiritual world. So this is devotee's life. In the material world, while performing devotional service, performing jagyas to Lord Vishnu, so we can live happily. We will find this verse Anat Bhavanti Bhutani, why yagya is important, because the necessity, main necessity for the human being is actually grain. So by performance of yajna, so rain will come and then grain will be produced. So that's how people can be happy in the material world. And simultaneously, while enjoying, of course, it is an enjoyment. So while enjoying our senses in the material world, but at the same times, because we are worshipping Krishna, so after we are giving up this material body, present material body, so we can go back home, back to Godhead. Of course, in some certain level, some certain stage of devotion, we will come to understand that actually sense gratification is not at all pleasing to Krishna. Rather, it will become a big stumbling block in the advancement of our spiritual life. Then we will be very sincere to be Krishna's devotees, very sincere. Text number 11. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. So this verse is about karma kanda. So performing sacrifices to the demigods is actually karma kanda, because we want some material happiness. Of course, without Krishna's sanction, ultimately, without Krishna's sanction, so the demigod also, they cannot give blessings to their worshipper. But those who are karma kandis, they are worshipping the demigods with the expectation to be promoted to the heavenly kingdom. So why Krishna is advising Arjuna here uh, in this philosophy of karma kanda? Because the principle is that something better than nothing. So still, karma kanda is encouraged for those who are, having very low consciousness. Karma kanda is advised because by performing yajna to the demigods, Prabhupada explained that unknowingly, when they are performing yagyas, so in each mantras, actually, the syllable Om should be recited. So this Om is actually Krishna himself. So this Om is non-different from Krishna. But because they don't know, so they meant to please the demigods, but still when they are chanting this syllable Om, they get purification. So by this kind of purification, of course, it will take like, millions of lifetimes. Then when they collected enough piety to be promoted to Krishna consciousness, then they will surrender to Krishna and become devotee. So something better than nothing. It is better to worship the demigods rather than not worshipping any deities at all. So demigod worship is recommended for those who are, completely materially attached. So at least they have to worship the demigods. And the demigods also, actually, it is described that the demigods will offer whatever their worshippers offer to them, will offer that offering to Krishna. So indirectly, actually, the demigod worshippers, they are actually Krishna's worshipper. But the only thing is that they are lacking of knowledge. This is the difference. Only lacking of knowledge. Once they are, if they by chance meet the devotees of the Lord, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. So if by chance they meet the devotees of the Lord, and very easily, very quickly, if they are pious enough. Well, they are pious because they are worshipping the demigods. So those who are pious actually very uh, easily can be converted to Krishna consciousness. So this is a lecture by Srila Prabhupada on this verse. Brahma is considered to be supreme director of this universe. So this yajna, sacrifice, Vedic ritual, They are indicated to pay different taxes to different demigods. But the Supreme Lord is above all. Therefore, if one performs sacrifice for the Supreme Lord, he is immune from other obligation. So Srila Prabhupada establishing a point that if we worship Krishna, actually uh, there is no more obligation to the demigod. So actually when we live in this material world, we have a lot of debt from different personalities, especially the demigod. The demigod, the great rishis who's compiling the scriptures, the Vedas, and any other living entities also, they are contributing in our life, especially the demigods. They are providing, of course Krishna is the supreme provider, and they simply performing their duties. So like Indra providing rain, and Vayu providing the air by which we can breathe, and Surya there providing the sunlight, and then Chandra providing the moonlight to nourish the vegetables. So like this, but if we worship Krishna, then there's no need to worship the demigod separately. Devarsi bhutaptan rinam pitrinam naking karo nayam rini charajan sarvat manaya saranam saranyam gato mukunda parihritya kata. So rini means debt or obligation. So devarsi bhuta, so we don't have any more obligation to the devatas, to the demigod, deva rishi, to the rishis, bhutapta, to the bhutas, nrinam pitrinam, or to the forefather who already departed. So normally we have to offer pinda every year for the departed forefather, for our father who already departed. So as a son, actually we have to offer shraddha or pinda to our departed forefather. And this is actually very important. Arjuna gave this argument in the first chapter, if we remember, that if the women, if all these men are killed, and women will not be protected. And then when woman is not protected, the Varna Sankara will be flourishing in the society. Then, because of this Varna Sankara, they don't have any knowledge about this family tradition, especially offering pinda to the forefather. And the whole family, the whole society will go to the hell. So if we worship Krishna, then there is no need actually uh, to worship the demigod separately, the rishis separately, because we fully surrender to Krishna. But if we still not fully surrender to Krishna, then this is actually um, necessary to do. But when we fully surrender, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, Krishna will fully take charge of his surrendered devotees. Of course, now we are trying to fully surrender to Krishna, but there is a question actually asked by one devotee to Bhakti Swami regarding this Pinda offering. Well, we are now devotees, but sometimes we see also that the devotees performing this kind of ceremony, Shraddha ceremony. Even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that, for performing this Shraddha ceremony for Jagannath Mishra. So Maharaj gave the answer like, well, because we are giving prasadam to our forefather. So that's actually very, very good. We have to keep this tradition. This is a culture, Vedic culture. This is our Vedic tradition. So we have to keep doing it, whether we are pure devotees or not really pure devotees. So this practice is always good because in our case as devotees, we are offering prasadam. So by this also, actually, the forefather, in case if they are somewhere in this material world and maybe they are being punished in the hell, by getting this offering in the form of prasadam, they get purification, immense purification, and that also can help them actually to be devotees directly right after that life, if they get this prasadam from Lord Vishnu, Vishnu prasadam, Krishna prasadam. So we have to see from a different angle. Of course, those who are completely liberated, those who are completely surrendered to Krishna, they don't have obligation anymore. But another thing also why we are performing this is that just to set up good example. So we'll discuss this. Text number 12. Tairdatan apradayayibhyo yobhungtistena evasaha. This is also a very famous verse. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. Yo bhungte stena eva saha. So Krishna is talking to Arjuna here on the level of karma kanda. So we have to keep this in mind. But in our case, we can translate the verse like those who are enjoying without offering them to Krishna in return is certainly a thief. Because for the demigod worshippers, so they believe that this demigod is their provider. But for us who have more understanding, who have more knowledge than the non-devotees, so we know that actually Krishna is the supreme provider. So everything should be offered to Krishna. So in this case also, even the um, vegetarian food, sometimes people argue that, to kill the animals is actually violence and sinful. Well, if we see while we are preparing our food also, while we are lighting the fire on the stove, we kill so many, I mean, like not living entity, living entity is eternal. We kill so many bacteria, we kill so many germs, and unknown, actually, we are committing violence, right? While cooking or while sitting also, while walking, we step on so many other creatures that we don't see, we cannot see because they are so small. So in this way, actually, unknown, we are committing violence, we are committing sinful activities unknown, right? So, but sometimes the argument comes that only big animals, when you kill, then that's considered to be violence. But well, uh, even if somebody is vegetarian, not killing the animal, not eating animal flesh, even if someone is vegetarian, but not offering it to Krishna, then that's also considered to be yubungte stena eva saha, considered to be a thief, because you are not offering it, and also you are eating only sin. You are eating sin because you don't offer it. So whatever food, uh, even if it is vegetarian or fruits, if it is not offered to Krishna, still when we eat that, we get some sinful reaction. Although the scale is not as big as uh, meat eating, but still we get some sinful reaction. So simply becoming a vegetarian is actually not enough to uplift us, to give us strength in spiritual advancement. Because that's still, what is the point of simply becoming a moralist, but you are not connecting yourself to Krishna? Of course, that is good. Being moralist is good. So just like Lord Buddha, in order to stop the animal killing. So those days, the animal killing very rampant. Of course, now also the animal killing is very rampant. But those days, Lord Buddha appeared in order to stop the animal killing. So there, the people's position those days is actually just like the minus. So Lord Buddha tried to bring them to the level of zero. Yeah. So simply on the level of zero is also not bringing us uh, somewhere else. We will remain there on the level of zero unless we uplift our consciousness to Krishna consciousness. So that begin the higher level, like 1, 2, 3, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, like this. The purport Srila Prabhupada mentioned, for one who cannot understand what the personality of Godhead is, sacrifice to the demigods is recommended. Yeah. So something is better than nothing. If we forget the purpose of human life and simply take supplies from the agent of the Lord for sense gratification and become more and more entangled in material existence, which is not the purpose of creation, certainly we become thieves, and therefore we are punished by the law of material nature. So to maintain this body also, it is a common, what do you say, not common, but it is the law of nature actually to keep this body alive. We have to eat another living entities, like the carrot, like the potatoes. They also have soul, and we kill them when we cook them. We kill them. Astani sahastani apadani chatuspadam paguni tatramahata jivo jivasha jivanam. So jiva jivasha jivanam means one living entity is food for another living entity. Jiva jivasha jivanam. Hastani sahastani. So the legless will be eaten by those who have legs. Apadani chatuspadam. The two-legged will be killed by the four-legged animals, like this. So this is the law of nature. Who are stronger, he will eat those who are weaker. Jiva jivasha jivanam. It is the law of the nature that one entity will become food for another entity. That's how we survive. So we survive from the vegetables or grains while cooking the grains, because in each grains already invested some soul. So we are killing. We are killing. But uh, we offer that to Krishna, and then the food becomes sanctified, become Krishna eyes. We have this word Krishna eyes, spiritual eyes, Krishna eyes. But then also, not all type of food can be offered to Krishna. Like we don't offer fish, of course. We don't offer meat because Krishna doesn't demand that. Krishna demand only patram pushpam palam toyam. So that the things that we can offer to Krishna. People may argue, okay, I eat meat, but before I eat this, I want to offer it to Krishna. Well, it doesn't work like that. So love means we fulfill what is the desire or the demand from the object of our love, from the person whom we love. So that's love. It is not that I give something because I want to give it. No, love means I give something because he demanded. So when he demands, when we fulfill, certainly he will be happy. He will be very happy. She will be very happy. So it works like that. So there is a question here from Ananta Vijay Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. Moralists are still at material goodness platform and can be free from karmic reaction? Well, no. Yeah, moralist is they situated in the mode of goodness, like non-violence, being honest, like friendly and being kind to other living entities. that's moralist. You speak like nicely, soft, no harsh. That's moralist. They are situated in the mode of goodness. But in the mode of goodness, sattva gun is still in the field of one of the three modes of material nature. Unless one is promoted to the level of Visuddha Sattva, then the karmic reaction will always uh, incur one's activities. So like you are vegetarian, but you are non-devotee. So when you eat that food, still you get the karmic reaction, you get the sin of that. Although the scale is less, as what I have mentioned earlier. So simply becoming moralist is not enough to free us from the karmic reaction. So only bhakti, actually, only bhakti can free us from the karmic reaction. Mamekam saranam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo. So Krishna says, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. If you connect yourself to Krishna, you surrender to Krishna, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Krishna will take charge of our whatever sinful reactions, karmic reaction that we have. So yeah, simply becoming moralist is not enough to give us freedom to be free from karmic reaction. So only being prasadarian, yeah, this is a new word that I found today. Only being prasadarian reaction will go under Krishna protection. Yeah, when we eat prasadam, that means we we are actually performing devotional service simply by honoring prasadam. That's devotional service. And if one remain chaste in this process, okay, remain chaste in this process. What is that process? Simply taking Krishna prasadam. Don't eat anything else. Don't eat something which is not offered to Krishna. If we remain chaste in this process, in this principle, if we follow this principle very strictly, very, very soon one will be advanced in Krishna consciousness. And no more uh, karmic reaction can touch us. So this Mahaprasadam, Srila Prabhupada explained just like the antibody which actually uh, a protector within this body, the immune system of the body, protect from any types of viruses that will create disease to us in this body. So similarly, if we simply honor, simply eat Krishna prasadam, so that will protect us from karmic reaction. And not only protect us from karmic reaction, but also this prasadam will destroy any karmic reaction that we have accumulated since millions of lifetimes. So that's actually powerful. That's why we find this story in Chaitanya Manga by Lochandas Thakur. He narrating in his book that about how Narad Muni got just some prasadam from Lord Vishnu, and one grain somehow or other he left, he didn't eat, and then he said to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was in ecstasy because he knows the value of Mahaprasadam. And oftentimes, you know, we as devotees, when we are honoring prasadam, sometimes we see some devotees that they didn't finish their prasadam completely in their plate. There are a lot of prasadam, and sometimes when the prasadam fall on the floor while the other devotees serving the prasadam, so sometimes we see that not all the devotees conscious of the value of the Mahaprasad, so they let it there on the floor and be wasted. So that's our pity situation. Okay, another followed question. What about to take prepared food by non-devotees' hand, Prabhuji? What about to take prepared food by non-devotee's hand, Prabhuji, and then if it is offered to Krishna? Well, the principle is that Krishna will accept the offering only those things cooked by the devotees. Visayura anna koile dusta hayaman, mona dusta hoile, nahi Krishnera smaran. This is a Bengali verse. Maybe Chaturatma Prabhu, you would like to translate that verse? Visayura anna koile dusta hayaman. There, Chaturatma Prabhu here. Yeah, he's Tadhure Tadvantike. He's near, but he's far. So he's here, but he's not here. So, Bisayura Anakaile Dusta Hayaman. So when we eat something, some food which is cooked by the non-devotees, Bisayi means actually materialistic people. When we eat that kind of food, so our consciousness will be polluted. Dusta Hayaman, Mana Dusta Hoile Nahi Krishnera Smaran. When our consciousness, our mind is polluted, we cannot think about Krishna. Nahi Krishnera Smaran. So, uh, food which is cooked by non-devotees actually unofferable. We cannot offer that to Krishna because Krishna is Srila Prabhupada in this presentation. There is a lecture by Srila Prabhupada. We will come to that. There, Srila Prabhupada mentioned Krishna is not in need of anything. Krishna is Atmaram. He is self-satisfied. He is not in need of anything, not any food. But yet, why he accept our offering? First of all, because for our benefit. That's for our benefit. Secondly, is that because he is known as the Bhava Grahi Janardhan. So he sees the essence of our heart. He sees the bhava of his devotees, Bhava Grahi. So we are offering to Krishna food prepared by the non-devotees. So Krishna will not accept that. Krishna will not accept that because whatever consciousness of a person while cooking is actually entering the food. This is the science. So when food cooked by loving devotees, so that love will enter to that food, and when that food is offered to Krishna, then Krishna will accept that. But when the food offered by the non-devotees, well, Krishna will not accept that. Yeah. So prasada means into a more high level of consciousness. Prasada means that food will be grown by devotees, the vegetables, the fruits, whatever, the grains will be grown by devotees with love and devotion, organic, no chemicals, and then harvested by the devotees, cooked and prepared by the devotees, and offered by the devotees. That's really first class prasada. First class prasada. But okay, not every devotee is growing their own food as what is actually desired by Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes, most of the times, we buy from the market. Okay, at least we, the devotees, cooking. At least we, the devotees, cooking. So that our bhava, our love will enter. In relation to recent question, if the offered prasadam is mixed with the food cooked by non-devotees of vegetarian, what did you mean? In relation to recent question, if the offered prasadam is mixed with the food cooked by non-devotees of a vegetarian, did you mean that will that food also becoming prasadam? Is that what your question, Prabhu? Okay, yes. Um, no, in the early days of my Krishna consciousness, I heard and I even have seen the devotees doing this. So they just keep some tulasi prasadam. They keep some tulasi prasadam. They get some, they go to some motel, hotel, There's some vegetarian restaurant which is owned by non-devotees, and they just put the tulsi there on that food, prepared food, and they consider that to be prasadam. Well, no. Prasadam means, what is that? Tadaham bhakti upahritam asnami prayatatmana. Prasadam means something which is already tasted by Krishna. Something which is tasted by Krishna. That's prasadam. If something not offered to Krishna and we mix some prasadam with that food, um, I don't think we can justify that food will be prasadam. Whatever offered to Krishna, for example, this tulasi, that tulasi only prasadam, and the rest is simply some stuff just to fill up our stomach. That's it. Yeah, some stuff just to fill up our stomach. So prasadam means love, blessing. Prasadam means Krishna's blessing, Krishna's mercy. Of course, in some situation, we may make some justification. And but if we really want to advance in Krishna consciousness, so just be chaste in this principle. I eat whatever offered, whatever food offered to Krishna. That's it. That's prasadam. So it's very simple. Whatever food offered to Krishna, that is prasadam. Any food which is not offered to Krishna, that is not prasadam. And what is the characteristic criteria by what kind of food can be offered to Krishna? Well, that food which is cooked by Krishna's devotee. Otherwise, that's how actually we find that we are slackening in our spiritual practice. We are losing some taste. We are losing some taste to chant our rounds. This is one of the many reasons, one of the factors, I would say, like that, because we are not strict enough to follow this principle, eating only Krishna prasadam. Yeah. Shall move. I think that point is pretty clear. It's simple, pretty. Follow-up question. Okay, this is interesting. This is a follow-up question. Suppose I'm in fever and small amount of food I offered and mixed with food cooked by my other members in sufficient quantity for all. Um, Generally, we do like that. We don't offer the whole preparation. We have Krishna's boga plate or boga cup where we just take a little amount and offer to the deities, and the rest we actually that's the representative of that food. That means when we offer this little amount, actually we are meditating with the whole amount. So why not to offer also whatever cooked by your family member, whatever cooked by your family member, if it is vegetarian, no onion, no garlic, so offer it. Okay. I ask because that member of my family or mate is not a follower. Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, what can I say? But well, we can offer also, although the principle is that whatever food cooked by the non-devotees is actually, I would say that not eligible to be offered to Krishna. But if we have uh, another type of consciousness that we want to give chance for them to serve Krishna, so we take that as their service. So in this way, actually, they also will be benefited. Unknown Agyata Sukriti, unknown Sukriti, Agyata Sukriti. They get the Agyata Sukriti. So in that way, they get also some credit. So yeah, when you cook at home, I think that's a different situation, rather than you get the food in some store or in some hotel, motel. If you have altar at home and the food is cooked by your family members or maid who are non-devotees, non-follower. But if that food is vegetarian, no onion or garlic, so you can take it, offer it to Krishna, and in that way also they can be benefited. Yeah. So homemade food is something different that than like instant food cook for ready food in the store. Okay, this is from Praneswar Sachinandan Prabhu. He said, sometimes for preaching purpose or well-wisher cultivation, we have to take some unoffered items from new customers to maintain the proper reciprocation or not to hurt them. Is it also sinful? Um, Sometimes that's true also. To keep our relationship good with them, not to hurt them. Yeah, as long as that food is not touched by onion and garlic, yeah, you take it. But is it also sinful? I would say yes, it is. But because we want to do it as a matter of preaching, so that's another thing. You get some reaction, and for that actually you have to chant extra round. Chant extra rounds. And yeah, otherwise if you don't strong enough in your sadhana practice, you also will be affected. And uh, in the beginning you are planning to preach, but then you also will get exhausted. You will become slackened in your performance if too often. So in the beginning, you can take them. So as you are preaching, as you are doing your preaching, so slowly you have to also preach to them that actually this is our culture, this is our system. That first, before taking it, we offer to Krishna. So yeah, in the beginning, not to hurt them. That's one of the strategy, and many preachers do that. And sometimes I did that personally. To be honest, sometimes in order not to hurt them, so take but something that you can avoid, actually fruit is okay to take, but whatever grain cook, actually that will have bigger effect than simply fruit, simple fruit. Uh, so for that actually you have to chant extra rounds. Not that we want to bribe Krishna, but we have to understand that yes, we get some reaction, little, because we are doing it for Krishna service. And preacher actually, to be a preacher is very risky. Srila Prabhupada, I think in this presentation it is there, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, it is very risky to be preacher. That's why in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentioned, what is that? Uh, I forgot the verse, but Krishna mentioned that the preacher is very, very dear to Krishna. And yeah, it's very dear to Krishna. The dearest servant of Krishna is the preacher. So yeah, that's my response. To become preacher is not easy, and we have to take risk while preaching. But slowly, because we are preaching, that means we are injecting, we give some doctrine, Krishna consciousness doctrine, into their brain, into their mind, into their heart, that this is the principle, should be offered first to Krishna. And another from Ananta Vijay Prabhu, no onion, no garlic, and mix with my offered boga, then the whole food would be prasadam or not? Yeah, it will be prasadam. Yeah. So when you offer it, so you meditate. So that's why when we are doing the offering, so we are not allowed to eat that preparation, because actually when we are offering, in the process of offering, like 15 minutes offering. Normally we take 15 minutes. So we meditate not only the food which is in the front of the deities, but also the food in the kitchen. So that will become prasada because we are meditating on that food also that Krishna is taking that food. Okay. Another thing is that I would like to combine my all previous question to make clear my question. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it, and then I will respond to that. You can combine. Now I think we have to move to the next verse. Text number 13. This is a very famous verse. Yagya sistasina santo muchyante sarva kilbisaihi bunjate te twagam papa yepa chantyat makaranat. The devotees of the Lord who are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. You see, this verse is actually clear enough to answer Ananta Vijaya Prabhu's question. So whatever food which is not offered, that means we are eating sin. If we eat that, we are eating sin. Others who prepare food for self or sense gratification are not only thieves, but also the eaters of all kinds of sins. How can a person be happy if he is both a thief and sinful? It is not possible. So one time Srila Prabhupada was explaining to his disciple that these people, they are enjoying Krishna's property. Uh, so those who are enjoying Krishna's property without connecting it to Krishna, then actually they are fools and rascals. They are thieves, they are sinful. And one of his disciples said that, so Srila Prabhupada, everything should be connected to Krishna, should be offered to Krishna. Prabhupada said, yes, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhi. Everything should be connected to Krishna. And then this devotee mentioned, so Prabhupada, can we go to the bank and rob in the bank because all this money belongs to Krishna. If we go to the bank, we rob the bank and we build a big temple and we cook nice prasadam, we feed all these people with the prasadam, they will become Krishna conscious. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, 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 you cannot do that. No, you cannot do that. So although everything should be offered to Krishna, connected to Krishna, but we cannot break the law because we have to show good example also. Sometimes the devotees also so silly, funny, yeah. But yeah, that's the mood of the devotees. But of course, we should not rob in the bank. This is a lecture by Srila Prabhupada. Yes, devotees, how much they are grateful. Krishna Prasad, Krishna, you have sent so nice fruit, nice flower. First of all, you enjoy. Oh, God is very satisfied. Just like a boy, my dear father, the sweet meat is very nice. You take. Father knows that sweet meat was purchased by him, where the boy can get the sweet meat. But because the son is offering to the father in love and affection, father says, oh, you have given me. It is very nice. Krishna is self-sufficient. This is the one that I was mentioning earlier. Krishna is self-sufficient. He does not require your offering of this food stuff, that food. But if you offer with with affection and love, he accepts. And as soon as Krishna accepts, your life is sanctified immediately. You see, not even honoring the food, honoring the prasadam, but as soon as Krishna accepted, our existence is purified. Therefore, we should eat Krishna prasad, nothing more. Not in the hotel, not in the restaurant, simply Krishna prasad. That will keep me purified always. You see, this lecture by Srila Prabhupada is clear, very, very clear. Okay, this is from Ananta Vijay Prabhu. He combined all his questions. What about to take prepared food by non-devotee's hand, even if it is free from onion and garlic, and then if offered to Krishna? It is because if I'm in fever and offered food for Krishna, but quantity is less, so mix. I think this is the same. So mix it with sufficient amount of food cooked by maid free from onion and garlic, or prepared by other members who are not a follower. Then the whole food would be prasadam or not? Okay, my response with this is like this: prasadam. Okay, prasadam is always transcendental. Prasadam is always purifying. But then, even among the prasadam also, there are different power, different degree of power of prasadam. I would say like that. Okay. For example, the prasadam which is cooked in the deity kitchen, that means the devotees who cook it just dedicate this food only for Krishna. Okay. That food, that prasadam is very, very powerful, very, very potent to purify our existence. Compared to the prasadam that we get in, for example, Govindas. Okay. Of course, both are prasadam, both are purifying, but the effect, the power of this prasadam is actually different. Because, okay, let's say in Govindas, because the mentality why people are cooking, why the devotee is cooking, is not for offering it to Krishna, but to gain some money. And of course, this money will be utilized to support Krishna's temple. If it is so, that's fine. But of course, sometimes even in ISKCON, I'm sorry, I'm criticizing here. I don't mean to criticize any temple or anybody here, but I'm just talking some philosophical aspect here. Okay. In some Govinda's restaurant of ISKCON, sometimes we find that the food is cooked by non-devotees. Why? We have enough devotees. We have a lot of devotees. Actually, Srila Prabhupada's main reason why we have to have these Govindas, first of all, we can distribute prasadam, and secondly, to support our temple. That's it. But if any others personal material motivation, then that's different thing. Okay, we see the prasadam offered in the temple and the prasadam served in Govindas. It is both prasadam, right? But the effect, the power of this prasadam is different. So similarly, the prasadam, when we cook by ourselves and offered by cooked by the devotees, offered to Krishna, that's very powerful. But any food which is not cooked by any food cooked by non-devotees at home, yeah, we are talking about at home by our maid or family members who are not following our practice. Well, if we offer it, if it is free from onion and garlic, we can offer it. But the power is not as much as when the devotees cook it. So both are prasada. But yes, both are prasada. But the power might be different, and it is different. Yeah, that's my response. Um, I hope Ananta Vijaya Prabhu is satisfied with that answer. Otherwise, we can discuss on this topic more later. Yeah. Okay, he said clear. Thank you very much. Because we have to move on to the next verse. And if any other devotees would like to comment, whenever somebody asks question, I give some comment or answer. And if anybody would like to add to those, so you can just unmute yourself or raise your hand. Yeah. So you are allowed. This is a discussion, class discussion. Also good for me to hear other devotees' opinion, because not all that what I'm saying is correct. Although I'm here acting as the teacher, but I'm just ordinary human being, and to commit mistake is something normal for me. So I love also to hear from other devotees. Okay, text number 14. Yeah, this is the verse. Anad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anasambhava. Yagyat bhavanti parjanyo yagya karma samudbhavam. Samudbhavaha. All living bodies subsist on food grains. So anna in Bengal also we call it anna. Rice, they call it anna because rice is green. Anad bhavanti bhutani. All living bodies subsist of food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, sacrifice, and yagya is born of prescribed duties. Purport. The Lord can be satisfied by sacrifices. Therefore, one who cannot perform them will find himself in scarcity. That is the law of nature. Yagya, specifically the Sankirtan Yagya prescribed for this age, must therefore be performed to save us at least from scarcity of food supply. Mm. So, Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu, Kritayam Yajato Makai, Dwapare Paricharyayam, Kalautadhari Kirtana. So, Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu, in the Satya Yuga, Krita Yuga, another name of Satya is Krita. Satya Yuga, people, there's the Yuga Dharma. Okay, the Yuga Dharma in Satya Yuga is meditation, Dhyayata, meditation to Lord Vishnu for thousands of years. Kriteya Dhyayata Vishnu. Tretayam Yajato Makaihi. So in Treta Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is fire sacrifice. And then Dwapare Paricharyayam. In Dwapara Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is worshipping the deities. Kalautadhari Kirtana. And in Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is the Sankirtan Yagya. Kalautadhari Kirtan, Hari Kirtan, the chanting of the holy names. That is the Yuga Dharma of the Kali Yuga. And it is described in that verse that all the result of the performance of the Yuga Dharma in the previous yugas, Satya, Dwapara, Satya, Treta, and Dwapara, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting of Krishna's name. So that's so powerful. This is one of the advantage of being in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the worst age, actually, the worst age. Prayena alpa yusa sabya kalo wasmin juge janha manda sumanda matayo manda bagya hupadritaha. So this is Kali Yuga. Prayena alpa ayusha, short life, alpa ayusha. Kalo wasmin yugi manda sumanda matayo. We are lazy, we are mad, always disturbed. Manda bhagya, manda abhagya, unfortunate, always unfortunate, suffering. This is Kali Yuga. But this Kali Yuga is very special because the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the propagation of the Sankirtan movement. So this Kali Yuga is actually this moment, this period from the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu up to 10,000 years. This is actually Satya Yuga in Kali Yuga. So it is hidden Satya Yuga in Kali Yuga. This our period now. So those who are lucky, they will get in touch with the devotees and perform the Sankirtan Yajna. There is one incident when Srila Prabhupada still on the planet. So in Hyderabad, this is a very famous pastime. In Hyderabad, there was, drought. So for a few years, there was no rain and the land becomes dry and the farmers cannot produce food. So the people, they are suffering. And then the government requested Srila Prabhupada to do something. Please help us. Can you give a solution? And Srila Prabhupada just, send the Sankirtan Bhaktas, just ask them to perform Nagar Sankirtan in Hyderabad. And immediately after they perform the Sankirtan Yagya, the Nagar Sankirtan, immediately heavy rain, downfall rain, just pouring Hyderabad, just pouring Hyderabad. And then they can produce, they cultivate, produce, produce some food, produce some grains. And also in the, what is that, Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita, uh, in his childhood pastimes, there in the volume 1, in the beginning of Lilamrita, Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that when he was a child, that time there was a famine all over Calcutta. So people are affected by leprosy. And this leprosy is like, contagious, contagious disease. And it's so terrible. And many people are being evacuated from the city because they are afraid of being contaminated and affected by this leprosy. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned there was one group of some Babajis, some old elderly people. There was a group. So they started the Nagar Sankirtan. They moved from one street to another street, go all around. And this famine, this disease just disappear. Srila Prabhupada commented that that's actually the power of Sankirtan Yagya. Sankirtan Yagya is so powerful because it is coming from Goloka Vrindavan. This chanting of the holy name is so special. It is directly coming from Goloka Vrindavan. What is that song? Golokera Premadhan Harinam Sankirtan Ratina Janmila Kinetoy. Ratina, unfortunately, uh, you see, this chanting of the holy name comes directly from the spiritual world, from Goloka Vrindavan. But Ratina Janmila Kinetoy, but unfortunately, I have no attraction. We have no attraction to chant this holy name. So we see, therefore, Manushyanam Sahasresu Kachit Yatati Siddhaye. Amongst millions of men, one may be, attaining perfection. Among those who attain the perfection, one may know Krishna in truth. So it's very rare. Chanting is very easy, right? We can say like chanting is very easy, this Hare Krishna movement. But not everybody get attracted by Krishna consciousness movement. Let's see in the chat section what time. We have around 15 minutes. Okay, this is from Ananta Vijaya Prabhu. Will Krishna conscious person get food supply and will remain free from will remain free from contamination, Prabhuji? Unlikely non-devotees as they should care by Krishna in real life, practically, any instant, please. Prabhuji, read about Prabhupada did Sankirtan Yagya for rain. Okay, this is the question. Is that will Krishna conscious person, that means will the devotees, get food supply and will remain free from contamination? Unlikely non-devotees. Special care by Krishna in real life, practically, of course. Ananya chintayantomam ye jana payupasate. Tesam nityabhyuktanam yogaksemam vaham yaham. Yeah, 9th chapter we will find this verse. Yogaksemam vaham yaham. Krishna will bring what we need and will protect what we have. And what is the qualification? Ananya chintayantuma. Ananya Bhakti means undeviated. If we fully surrender to Krishna, Avasharak Sibe Krishna, we have this faith, Avasharak Sibe Krishna, Raksha. Krishna will always protect us, will supply. Krishna is the only maintainer. There are 6 characteristics of fully surrender, Saranagati, described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What is that? Anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulyasa varjavam. Anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulyasa varjavam. Rasisyatiti vishwasho goptripte varanam tata atmanikse pakarpanye sadvidham saranagati. So this is 6. Anukulyasa sankalpa. Always take whatever favorable, something favorable for our Krishna consciousness, take it. For example, devotees association, living in the dham, taking darshan, going to temple. These are all favorable. Prasadam, favorable. Take it. And then pratikulya shavarja, reject whatever not favorable. The non-devotees association, try to avoid non-devotees association. Prajalpa, atyahar, eating non-Krishna prasadam. Actually, Rupa Goswami explained this word. Actually, atyahar means overeating. But the explanation of this atyahara is that the explanation of overeating is that eating something which is not offered to Krishna, that is considered to be overeating. So reject whatever not favorable for our Krishna consciousness, like watching Netflix, watching movies, using Facebook for mundane purpose. Of course, the devotees now can preach also on Facebook, but sometimes on the name of Yukta Vairagya, we are enjoying Facebook. Yeah. And then Rasisyatiti Vishwasho, we have faith that Krishna is the only maintainer, and Krishna, we have faith that Krishna will always protect us. This is called Rasisyatiti Vishwasho. Goptripte Varanam Tatha Atmanikse Pakarpani. We feel humble and helpless, that we have no other shelter than Krishna. Vananam tata atmanikse pakarpanye, and we just do everything for Krishna. Atmanikse pakarpanye. So whatever our activities will be always connected in Krishna consciousness for the pleasure of Krishna. Sadvidham saranagati. So these are the symptoms, characteristic of fully surrender. Now, what's that? Your question in the chat? Okay, will Krishna will the devotees, will Krishna supply the food for the devotees? Yes, of course. Why not? What to speak of the devotees? Even the dog in the street, even the bird, the animal, all these animals provided their food provided by Krishna. And what to speak of us, the devotees who are trying to please Krishna? Definitely, for sure, he will provide. But it doesn't mean that food will come from the sky. So you have to work. You have to work and not what do we call it? Atyahara, prayasa. So avoid prayasa. Prayasa means over accumulation, accumulating something which is unnecessary. So this verse is that yogakshamam vaham yaham means Krishna will provide what we need, not what we want, but what we need. If we need food, Krishna will give. If we need money, Krishna will give. We can see so many examples in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Prahlad Maharaj, how Krishna protects him. What about food? Food is actually not a big problem in life. Problem, like Prahlad Maharaj being tortured, this is a real problem. But Krishna protects. And if you want a practical, real example, I'll narrate a story. Okay, we have here 10 minutes. This is now story time. Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Shyam Sundar Prabhu. Okay, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, very famous devotee. He wrote this book, Chase the Rhino. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu, he was sent by Srila Prabhupada somewhere and opening a temple there for preaching. And at that time, they are renting some apartment. They are renting some building and make it as center. So the devotees staying there, they perform their sadhana and preaching there. Also doing, they did their preaching there. And at one time, so because they spend a lot of money for renting and then for food for life, this and that. So their money is about to finish, and their money is actually completely finished. Is completely finished. And then Syam Sundar Prabhu discussed with other devotees, should we close the center? Because we don't have money anymore to pay this building, the rent. We have to pay now. It just 3 or 4 days mm, later, 3 or 4 days later, that they have to pay. So if they don't pay, so the owner will kick them out. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu discussed with other devotees, should we close the center? And the devotee said that, well, no way we close the center. What Srila Prabhupada will tell. What Srila Prabhupada will tell. And then Syam Sundar Prabhu just prayed to Krishna. Oh Krishna, please send something. Please send something. Otherwise we're going to close the center. And that's it. And then the next day he woke up for Mangala Arati and he decided to have some japa walk. He decided to have some japa walk on the street. That's like when it's still Brahma Muhurta, twilight, still dark little bit and also little bright. So in between twilight. So he walked. It was very cold, he said. It was very cold. And he just walked on the street and having his japamala, chanting. And then out of nowhere, nobody on the street because it was early in the morning, everybody is still sleeping. But he was there alone, and out of nowhere, the money, $100 bills, fell from the sky, out of nowhere, fell from the sky. And that actually covered the exact amount that what they need to pay the rent for that month. You see, this is a practical, real life experience. And, and then he took that money, he just like, out of nowhere, this money fell from the sky. He took the money, paid the rent, and he wrote a letter to Srila Prabhupada narrating this instance. And Srila Prabhupada said, you see, Krishna will always protect you. Do not worry. Krishna will provide what you need. Do not worry. Just serve Krishna. Do your preaching. Everything will be all right. My blessing is there. You no need to worry of anything, especially your maintenance. So this is real life experience. Okay. And some of us may have this kind of experience also. Well, if you okay, I want to narrate one instance in my life, which is I always remember this. Yeah. If you okay, if not, I will skip. Okay, I think that Shyam Sundar Prabhu's pastime is enough to build faith in our heart. In the chat section, there is another question here. Asked in relation to text 14 regarding who doesn't eat prasadam and who doesn't offer and then eat, will Krishna conscious person get food supply and will remain free from contamination? Like we do non-devotees, as special care by Krishna in real life, practically. Krishna provide necessity to all. Yes, that's the fact. Yeah, Krishna will provide the newborn lizard, for example, the newborn lizard, they don't have knowledge. They don't have knowledge. The animals, they don't go to school. But somehow or other, there are some mosquitoes just come in the front of their face and they eat. This baby lizard will eat. So Krishna provide. Krishna provide. Okay, this is a request from Nagarjun Prabhu. Please share your incident also. Thank you. Okay, I will finish this class with this story. You see, we just cover only a few verses. We are planning to cover 26 verses. It's interesting when the class is full of discussion. So it's interesting. The class is alive. Everybody is attentive. I'm happy with that. So don't worry. We don't want to rush this course. This course is for 1 year. Relax. Okay. So in my story, that was in 2016. Yeah, 4 years ago. So I was here in Mayapur with my wife. At that time, I was recently married with my wife. And before coming to Mayapur, I was visiting Cambodia. And in Cambodia, when I came to Mayapur, I brought actually with me one new bhakta, one new devotee from Cambodia. Okay, so he came here and he stayed with me for 6 months. So he was, nicely trained here, like chanting. He's very enthusiastic, new bhakta. So at that time, I was newly married, and yeah, right after Gora Purnima in 2016, so I got the order from my spiritual master that I have to go back to Cambodia to assist the devotees there. Then, yeah, I discussed with my wife, and she said, okay, let's go there. Help devotees, whatever we can do there, we just go there. And before, I was newly recently married, so I didn't have any job. I didn't have any job, nothing. And my mother-in-law, so she gave me a $300 US dollar. She said that, okay, this you take this money to go to Cambodia and be safe there. I was so happy because that time I didn't have any money. So the ticket was purchased by my god brothers, by my god brother. So the ticket was purchased, and this new Bhakta's ticket was purchased by other devotees. Okay, so $300. I have a $300 and just few rupees. I think that's like 15,000 rupees. So 15,000 rupees and 300 US dollar. So that night, so we have our cab, our taxi in the next morning. So we have to go to the airport. We have to start from Mayapur early in the morning. So that night, we vacate the flat where we were staying. So we cleaned it. We cleaned and we emptied the room. And by chance, actually, that $300 because $300 is only three bills, three notes, and my wife, she took it and put in the kitchen. And by chance, while we are cleaning, so this $300, uh, because we are in hurry, so we just put and throw it, put in the garbage and throw it, because whatever paper that we don't need, while cleaning, so we just sweep it, collect it, and put in the dustbin. That's it, finished. And then we have only 15,000 rupees, Indian rupees. When we arrive in the airport, so okay, now the mind is settled. We are about to check in. The mind is settled. Okay, we have $300 and also 15,000 rupees. So we're not gonna spend Indian rupees in Cambodia. So we wanted to exchange this money in the airport. So we exchanged that 15,000 rupees. We exchanged, and I thought, okay, we exchanged into US dollar. Now we can put together dollar with dollar. Okay, and then I was searching for this $300, and it was missing. Okay, it was missing. Then after we opened all the zips in all bags, all pocket checking, it was missing. So we know that actually we throw it last night while cleaning. Whatever money, $300. So now we have only like $200, 15,000 Indian rupees. That $200. And there was a problem with the ticket of this new bhakta from Cambodia that was with me. The problem is that because this devotee, he paid the ticket using his credit card, ATM card, something like that, and that is not accepted. And then the company, the airline, asking to pay in cash, and then later they will refund the money. They will refund the money to the bank account of this devotee who sponsored the ticket. Then I have to change again from this dollar to rupees, dollar to rupees, and paid the ticket. That the ticket was 12,000 rupees. So now we have only 3,000 Indian rupees. 3,000 Indian rupees. Okay, with practically speaking very very less money. That time I carried quite a lot of books because in Mayapur I got the book for cheap, and we can sell there in Cambodia for good price for the visitor, for the tourist. And then we went there, okay, with no money. In the first few days, I was eating, taking prasadam in the ashram, in the temple, because I'm a grihastha. I'm not supposed to, I mean, like, not supposed to every day eating there. But I was narrating my story, and everything is lost. Everything is lost. Okay, and then we settled it a bit. We started to distribute some books. From there, I got little Lakshmi, and then to pay for the rent also, and little food. So life started. I distributed some books and collected some money, not so much, some money. And then just few days after that, one devotee, he's actually from South India, but he lives in Cambodia. So he came to our temple and visited. And then I talked with him because I know him since long time. And after a long time, we met, like, very happy, very jolly. Then he asked me, Prabhu, now you are married, you are no longer brahmachari. How do you maintain? And I said, Prabhu, I don't know, but Krishna knows. Krishna maintains me. And then he said, I'm seriously, are you working or doing something to earn money? I said, Prabhu, look, if I'm working, how will I help these devotees here to preach? Who will go out for Nagar Sankirtan every day? I said, because at that time, really, myself, my wife, and other devotees, we are going out every day to the town for Harinam and book distribution. And we spread the invitation for Sunday Feast program to the people there. I said that, Prabhu, if I'm working, I will not be able to help these devotees here. So he asked, then how you manage all this? I said, whatever money comes from whatever books I sold, that's how I survive. And then he asked me, how much you spend money in a month to maintain yourself and your wife? I calculated. Prabhu, rent is $50. I was renting very cheap, not even a flat, just a room, attached bathroom. $50 for rent, and maybe food. If I eat $1 for me a day, my wife $1. Food will be $2 in a day. That means $60 for food. $60 for food, $50 for rent. So total is $110 in a month. That's like very very simple life. And then he asked me, how long you going to be here? I said, where, in Cambodia? He said, yes. How long you going to be here? I said, Prabhu, I don't know. Only Krishna knows. Only Krishna knows how long I will be here, how long I'll be there. And then he immediately pulled out, believe me, pulled out 900 US dollar and give to me. Prabhu, you utilize this money. Please help our preaching here. You take care of yourself, take care of Mataji, and buy nice boga, nice food, eat nicely. Whenever you need, you just call me. I'll give you money. And I was crying. I was crying. I couldn't say anything at that time. I was crying. And I remember, I lost $300 and Krishna gave me 3 times more. Krishna gave me $900. At that time, I was crying. My wife also crying. We looked to each other and it's like miracle. Krishna may not come personally, but he's arranging different people by which we can get what we need. So in this way, I never lose my faith to Krishna that he will not provide what I need. Since that day up to now, I'm not working in any company. I'm just doing some service, little service here and there, and everything is maintained. Everything is maintained. Especially for food, we never worry. Somehow or other, Krishna makes the arrangement. Srila Prabhupada said, if Krishna wants to take something from us, we have only 2 hands, we have no power to keep that thing from Krishna because he has 1,000 hands. But if Krishna wants to give something for us, how much we can receive because we have 2 small hands and Krishna has unlimited hands. So do not worry about maintenance, especially with maintenance. Many devotees advise me that I have to work, I have family, now I have small son, small kid. I have to earn a lot of money. Well, in my personal case, I just surrender to Krishna. I'm not a great devotee, but I do keep my faith in Krishna that he will provide what I need. As long as I keep my life simple, Krishna will take care. So that's my little experience and realization that Krishna will always care. And if Krishna took care of me in the past, why he will not take care of me in the present and future? Okay, I think we have to stop now. It's already 8:30. No, 8:38. So any follow-up question that I didn't answer, you can ask in the beginning of next class. So thank you very much. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.